Hi, good morning. Good morning, y'all. So I know people are signing in, so I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. So thank you all for being here. Good morning, good morning. Thank you all for being here on this beautiful Friday morning. I hope you all are safe at home. I know there's some wildfires are happening here in California, so I hope everybody's doing okay. All right, I'm gonna give it a couple, like 2 more minutes and we'll get started with the presentation. So happy to be here. So happy that you all are here. We're excited to be giving this presentation and share some information and updates from admissions and also our great institution, Cal State Fullerton. All right, so I'm gonna get started. My name is Eloisa Amador Romero. I'm an outreach and recruitment counselor at California State University, Fullerton. Today we're gonna be doing California State University Fullerton campus highlights. So we do have a Q&A feature in our webinar. So please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. We're more than happy to answer them. And we have our whole team of outreach and recruitment here to answer any questions that you have. We encourage you not to use the chat. I'm sorry, I did not disable the chat, but we encourage you not to use the chat. We ask for you to ask the Q&A because it's an easier way for you to be able to ask the questions and our team will be able to answer them. But thank you all so much for being here. Like I mentioned earlier, my name is Eloisa Amador Romero. I'm an outreach and recruitment counselor at Cal State Fullerton. And let's get started. So before we get started, we wanted to also share that throughout the fall semester, we will be having a multiple webinars, live and recorded webinars. So please make sure you follow the QR code here. Also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Like I mentioned, we're gonna have multiple recordings and live sessions like today. From varying from financial aid to nursing, as well as other campus resources, how to do the Cal State Applied workshop. So we have very multiple resources. So please definitely check us out. We're more than happy to share that knowledge with you as well. So let's get started. So who are we, right? So we are we're part of the Cal State system. We have 23 different campuses. We have over 481,000 students enrolled in terms of fall 2017. We have 53 different faculty and staff employees in the universities. 50% of our students are students of color, and 1 out of 3 students are the first ones in their family to attend college. So that means generation college students. We always like to share the map of the Cal States and the whole Cal State system. The reason why is because we live in the beautiful state of California, and with having said that, we also provide, it's so different, right? So all the way from Humboldt State is very, very different than San Diego State. San Bernardino State is completely different than San Francisco State. So you have the opportunity so much to be in a beautiful state that you can pay in-state tuition, have a great education, right? And be in a whole different area of the state and have a very different experiences, right? So our purpose and our mission is to create access and support for our students, our local students, but also our students overall from California. And like I mentioned earlier, we do have 23 different campuses. As you can see here in the map, the way that campuses are located is because of the population. So if you see right now, Humboldt doesn't have a lot of population, right, compared to Southern California. That's why there's not a lot of Cal States in the northern area. But if you see here in Southern California, we have multiple options, right? You have Northridge, you have San Bernardino, Fullerton, Dominguez Hills, Long Beach, Capa y Pomona, right? Because there's a bigger number of people that are in the area. So having said that, what we offer is we offer a bachelor's degree, credential programs, master's programs, and doctoral programs. So the difference between us and a community college is that the community college, we're all part of the master plan, right? The California master plan is composed of community colleges, Cal States and UCs. And the difference between us and the community college is that the community college provides a transfer way, right? So you can transfer to a Cal State, UC, or private school. And also the community colleges offer a support for students to get some type of technical career as well. The difference between a bachelor's, the difference between a Cal State and a UC is that Cal States are more hands-on and UCs are more research-based. So that's why you see campuses like UCLA that have a medical center, right? You have campuses like Irvine that have a medical center. And for Cal States, we have more like teaching credentials. We have nursing programs, right? Bachelor's in nursing. So it's just a little bit of a difference. Both in Cal States and UCs, you can obtain a bachelor's degree, master's programs, and doctoral programs as well. So we're going to talk a little bit very briefly about the Impaction. So some of the CSUs have, all the CSUs have regular requirements, but because campuses receive more applications than they can, provide seating to, there's an Impaction. So if you see here, people that have the minimum CSU eligibility that you could be applying to and be accepted are Bakersfield, Channel Islands, Dominguez Hills, East Bay, Maritime Academy, San Francisco, and Stanislaus. Campuses that have an Impaction by major are Chico, Humboldt, Monterey Bay, Northridge, Pomona, Sacramento, San Bernardino, San Marcos, and Sonoma. And campuses are impacted all around are Fresno, Fullerton, Long Beach, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose, San Luis Obispo. So we always encourage students to apply to a student in each column. A campus in each column, especially apply to your dream school. But if you, just to have a little bit more opportunities, right, we always encourage students to apply to just to each of the columns as you see here. Just to explain a little bit about campus Impaction by major. For example, Cal Poly Pomona is one of the, is a campus that is in the middle column. And if you apply for their liberal studies major, it's not impacted, but their business major is impacted. So you just have to contact their campus and see what majors are impacted and what are the additional requirements for that. And then for the last column, Fullerton is one of the campuses there. And just to give you an example, if you apply to us as undeclared or as a business major, it's the same requirements because we're impacted all around. So please make sure you reach out to the campus that you see there to get more information about their Impaction and what the requirements are as well. We also wanted to talk about the Cal State Apply application and the Cal State Apply website. The Cal State Apply application, it's one application and you can apply to all 23 different campuses. We encourage you not to, right? Because it's $70 per application. If you can apply for the fee waiver, and if you do qualify for the fee waiver, you're gonna have 4 applications for free. But if you don't qualify for the fee waiver, then there'll be $70 per application. And the beautiful thing about Cal State Apply website is that it's one application for all 23 campuses. So it's a very simple application. The application window opens October 1st to December 4th. This date has changed for this year. We don't know if it's going to change for next year, but the new update is that before it used to be October 1st to November 30th, now it has been extended to December 4th. So please be aware of that. We encourage you all to submit your application as early as possible. And then also in the Cal State Apply website, you're gonna have a lot of different resources about choosing a campus, choosing a degree, getting into a CSU, and paying for college as well. So please definitely use those resources as well. So let's talk about admissions, right? Like the most hot topic right now. So these are CSU admissions requirements overall. So all CSU campuses do the same admissions criteria, but have different policies. Please contact the CSU campus that you are interested in applying for more information. It's important for students to follow deadlines for all 2020, for all of the requirements. So for freshmen, for all 2021, fall 2021, this is for all CSUs. And I'm going to talk about Cal State Fullerton in a little bit. For freshmen fall 2021, you need to have a high school diploma, complete the A3G courses, earn a qualifying A3G GPA, and there are some supplemental factors by campus. As you can see here, the difference between this year and last year, it was the SAT. So according to the Chancellor's Office, the SAT is not gonna be a requirement for fall 2021. So please, I would encourage you to follow the Chancellor's Office website for any updates that are occurring. This is for our freshmen. For our transfer students, you need to be in good academic standing, have 60 transferable units, have the Golden 4, oral communication, critical thinking, math, and written communication, and meet the GPA cutoffs. Like I mentioned, these are all CSU admissions requirements. Each campus, especially if they're impacted, will have additional requirements. For example, if just going to your the school that you want to apply to, if you're transferring from the community college, and you should be able to they should be able to help you with any questions that you have. So now I'm going to talk about CSU Cal State Fullerton first-time freshman requirements. Must meet the following eligibility requirements: be a high school graduate or equivalent, complete the 15-unit comprehensive A3G pattern for college preparatory courses, and a qualifying A3G grade point average GPA as described below. So if you're a California resident or graduating from a California high school with a 2.5 or greater, and non-California residents earning a 3.0 or greater in the A3G GPA. All freshmen applicants that are residing in California, Cal State Fullerton local admissions area will receive a first priority admissions, preference through approximately 0.3 A3G GPA bump. For example, if your A3G GPA is at 3.2 and you're part of our local area, you will have a 3.5 for on our admissions records, you will have a 3.5 for admissions purposes, okay? So these are we're gonna talk about Impaction, right? And then our local area. So, so our local area for Cal State Fullerton will be high schools. For our freshmen will be students that are graduating from the following high schools. So Orange County, Chino, Corona Norco, Walnut, Whittier, and Alvarado. So if you're a student part of that district that you're graduating from those schools, you'll be considered our local student. So you will in a sense be given priority than a student that is applying from a high school from Los Angeles, for example, Los Angeles School District. If you're a transfer student and applying to us from a community college, transfer students local area will be students that will be coming from community colleges in Orange County. So if you're transferring from Fullerton College, Santana College, any community college from Orange County, you'll be considered our local student, okay? And then we're gonna talk briefly about the A3G requirements. So the A3G requirements are 2 years of history or social sciences, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of laboratory sciences, 2 years of language other than English, visual performing arts for 1 year, and college preparatory elective for 1 year. It's very, very important for you to meet these requirements. We have had situations where our seniors have worked so hard, right? And then their last year, they get senioritis and they don't finish their last semester. They get an F on their English class for their last year. So that would disqualify them for being acceptable to a CSU. So please make sure you follow your requirements. And if you have worked so hard, continue working hard to get to that step. All right, so fall 2021 admissions information. So it's really important for you to, because everything has been changing, especially because of COVID-19, please go to admissions.fullerton.edu for any updates that we can be providing for the students and for their families. So you can click on prospective students, click on the link that suits you, either first-time freshman or transfer student, and you're gonna be able to see additional information, and anything that is updated will come from the admissions website as you see here. And then just really important deadlines, right? We are impacted, so deadlines are really important. So our application will be closing on December 4th, right? All our required documents enlisted in your to-do list will be due on February 15th. You have to accept your offer by May 1st. This is very, very important because you have to let us know that you are coming to Cal State Fullerton before May 1st. And like I mentioned before, deadlines are so important that if you miss a deadline, you will either have to go to the community college for a freshman or wait in a whole year for you to reapply to the university. And always check your Cal State Fullerton email for orientation, and also submit your official transcripts by June 15, 2021. It's very important that once you have submitted your application, you should be getting an email from Cal State Apply and an email from from the university you applied to. So in this case will be Cal State Fullerton, right? In that email, you will have access to how to access your portal. And it's very important for you to check your email, your Cal State Fullerton email, right, regularly, because if you don't check it and there's something that we're asking for, that's the way that the university communicates with you. And then also check your to-do list. So it's very, very important so you don't miss those important deadlines. And then for transfer students as well, admission closes on December 4th. All requirement documents are due February 15, 2021. The transfer verification ADT in progress has to be verified on March 22nd. May 1st is when you have to accept your admissions and pay your enrollment deposit. So like I said, please make sure that you follow these deadlines, are really important. And then also check for orientation as well. And then also transcripts are due on June 15. And then transfer degree, the associate degree for transfer, official degree, it has to be posted by September 3rd. So like we mentioned before, the application for fall 2021 will be open on October 1st, so less than 2 weeks. And then it will be closing on December 4th. Once the application closes, we have no ways to reopen it. So please make sure that you apply it as early as possible. The application should not take you that long, but just want to make sure that you're completing the whole application as much as possible with the best of knowledge that you have. So the application is $70 per application. And if you do have the fee waiver, you will get 4 fee waivers for free. And then the way that you apply, you can do a Google search, right? Cal State Apply, or you can go to calstate.edu/apply, and that's how you're going to be able to submit your application. So we're going to go into Q&A real quickly just to see how's everything going. So Kristen, can you, do you have any questions that you have for us? Common questions that you're seeing?
Yes, so far we've had about 9 questions. Most of the questions have been related to our programs and also like our admissions requirements. So which you did a really good job of covering already. So that's mostly what the questions have been about: admissions, some questions about what our different various majors and programs are like. So that's pretty much been what I've been seeing. But
Awesome.
feel free to, if you all have more questions, feel free to go ahead and drop in the Q&A and we will be happy to answer those for you.
Awesome, great, thank you. And then talking about programs, we're going to be covering programs right now. So we will be talking about our specific programs in a minute. So let me see if we got any other questions right now.
Yes, it looks like a few are coming in. I see. Is there an engineering program? And yes, we do have an amazing engineering program. We offer different concentrations or areas, I guess I should say, that you can go into. For instance, civil engineering, computer engineering. So you have lots of different options. There was a question earlier about architecture, I believe. Just to let you know, we do have a civil engineering program that has an architectural emphasis if you're interested in that. But yes, to answer your question, we do have an engineering program.
Awesome. We have another question saying, is the SAT required? Should I still take them? For the Cal State system, all the Cal States are not requiring the SAT for fall 2021 admission. So if you're a senior right now and you're applying to our application for fall 2021, the SATs are not required. We're not sure how that's going to be for future application cycles. So if you're a senior right now, you don't have to for our Cal State system. We have another question. What if you don't know your major yet, you can come as an undeclared student. And if you are an undeclared student, we have a lot of different options for you to be able to choose a major. Like we have first year programs, right? We have, you can do your first general education courses first and then decide what you want to do. You can go visit the Career Center and they can help you with that. And, we have a lot of different resources. We'll talk a little about resources in a little bit.
Yes. I do see another one here. What sciences does CSUF offer? So we have lots of different options. We have biology, we have physics, we have chemistry. And within those different majors, there's different concentrations you can actually study. So I would definitely encourage you to check out all of the different programs that we have, because there's lots of different options in terms of our science. We have a whole college of natural science and mathematics.
Yes.
And is
All right.
it a program? Yes, we do have a nursing program. If you're applying as a freshman, you can go into our direct entry program. Please keep in mind for the nursing program, there are some additional requirements. You will need to have a letter of recommendation. There's an essay requirement on top of the requirements that Eloisa covered already. There's also an interview process if you get selected. So just keep that in mind. But yes, we do have an amazing nursing program. It's very hands-on. So yeah.
And we're also going to be doing a nursing webinar. So please make sure you register for that in the website, how you register for this one.
Yes.
Okay. So I know there's more questions coming in. I'm going to continue with the presentation because I know some of these questions will be answered in the presentation, and then we'll do another Q&A at the end. Just in case the questions were not answered, we can definitely answer at that point. Okay. Thank you so much for your questions. And thank you, Kristen, for your help.
Sure.
All right. So we are Titans, right? I'm an alum from Cal State Fullerton. I'm a very proud alum. I attended Cal State Fullerton back in 2014. My major was human services and Chicano studies. So I know there's a question about social work. If you were thinking about social work, human service is a great field for you. It's a really great major. So who we are, we were founded in 1957. We were the 12th CSU established. Our standing class at that point was 452 people. And we have 15 different Division 1 athletes. So we were talking about, also just talking about the 452 standing class. Right now we have over 40,000 students in our university. So we have grown so much. And just to give you more information, we are, our mascot, his name is Tuffy, and our mascot is an elephant. As you can see here, back in the day, a long time ago, we had an elephant race here on our campus, and that's why it was designated to be the date of the Titan. And Tuffy is our mascot. We are located in Orange County. We're 7 miles away from Disneyland and 22 miles away from Los Angeles. If you drive by the 57 freeway, you will definitely see our signs from Cal State Fullerton, our beautiful campus. It's a very, very big campus, and there's so much different opportunities for you there. Our unique majors are Bachelor's in Fine Arts, Music, Theater, International Business, and then we also have a Bachelor's of Science to a Master's degree in Computer Engineering, which is like you'll be doing your Computer Engineering bachelor's degree and master program at the same time. So it's a program that is combined. And then we have a direct entry into the nursing program. So our programs are very, very competitive. Like I mentioned earlier, we're impacted. Just to talk a little bit about our nursing program. Our nursing program is very different than other programs because it's a direct entry. So students will be admitted right away as they're coming in as a freshman. They'll be taking classes as their first semester in nursing. So it's a really, really, really interesting and really cool program as well. So please make sure you check out our nursing webinar that we will be providing in a couple of weeks. So we have 8 different academic colleges. So if you think about the university, it's a whole university, and within the university, we have 8 different colleges. So we have the College of Math, Computer Engineering, Math and Sciences, Business Program. We have Humanities and Social Sciences, College of the Arts, College of Communication, College of Education, and College of Health and Human Development. So that's completely 8 different colleges. Within those colleges, we have programs, right, departments, and then with those programs, we have our majors. So that's why when you come in as a freshman, as a transfer student, and you're part of the College you're a human services or kinesiology, they're going to ask you, oh, what college are you from? So you're going to be part of the College of Health and Human Development, right? If you are an arts major, you'll be part of the College of Arts, Performing Arts. And we also have 110 different degrees and programs. We have over 40,000 students right now. Our average age is 24 years old, and the average age is a little high because we have a lot of transfer students that are a little bit older. We are a commuter school, but when you're on campus, you definitely would not feel the commuter environment. It's a very active campus. There's always something happening on our campus. Something in the Titan Walk, something in the quad, right? From music to live bands to, you know, students doing fraternity sorority live recruiting. So there's always something happening, even also in the TSUs, like workshop presentations. So even though we're a big commuter school, it doesn't feel like a commuter school either. So there's so many ways to get involved. As of May 2018, we have 200,000 people graduated. We have 241 acres, 31 buildings. And like I mentioned earlier, our top five freshman majors are business administration, computer science, criminal justice, public health, and psychology. And for our transfer students, we have business administration, communication, child and adolescent studies, psychology, and sociology. So we're number 1 in the CSU to graduate women and Latinas. We're number 2 in provide a bachelor's degree for underrepresented students. We're number 6 in the nation for transferring students, for being accepting transfer students. We're top 5 in ranked out of top 12 best college for your money. We're also best for your value for CSUF rank among the top US institutions. And then we're a top tier CSUF rank among top national universities. And then some of our notable alum, we have Gwen Stefani. She did attend Cal State Fullerton. She actually was giving performances in the quad. So there's still live performances happening. So you never know where the big next star will be. We also have Justin Turner, which is a baseball player, right? He plays for the Dodgers. We also have sent people to outer space, right? NASA astronaut. We also have the creator of Shimmer and Shine from Nickelodeon. And we also have graduated alum. We have the CFO of In-N-Out. So there's a lot of people that are very famous, right, from an alum association, as well as me, right? I'm an alum from Cal State Fullerton. I'm being famous right now. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna find a lot of different resources and support to be successful in our university. And at the same time, you could be our next notable alum. We can have your picture right here for our presentations. And then campus resources for academic and personal information. We have the Academic Advising Center. So when you come as a freshman, first year, you're gonna have academic services, and then also you're gonna have general education advising, and then also your major advising. So for transfer students, it's the same thing. We do have a diversity initiatives and resource centers base center, which is composed of 5 different centers. We have the Chicano Resource Center, the African American Resource Center, the Asian American Resource Center. We have the Dreamers Resource Center and the Latino Resource Center as well. We do have EOP, which is the Education Opportunity Program. You can apply for EOP as you come as a first year or as a transfer student, but you need to apply to EOP in your application. We do also have the Male Success Initiative, which is a brand new program in our university. This program is very important for all our freshmen to apply and get information with the Male Success Initiative, because you do receive a scholarship from them. So please really get in contact with them, right? I believe the scholarship is a full ride. So please get in touch with them so they can give you more information and you can apply. I believe you do have to be a freshman, but it's always good to do your research and find out more information. We also have the Guardian Scholars, which is a program for our foster youth, right? People that have been in the foster system. They do provide housing and also scholarships. We have the University Learning Center, the Writing Center. We have first year experience, right? So if you're undecided or are not really sure what to do your first year, we do have a first year experience program. We have our Student Health Center that if you have some type of medical condition, or, you know, you have like a headache, or you're not feeling well, you can go to the health center, and it's actually being part of your student fee. So it's already included in your tuition and fees. So you can definitely get in touch with them and get those services, as well as the counseling and psychological service. It's really good to see a counselor. And then also we have the Student Recreational Center. The Student Recreational Center has a pool, also has a climbing wall, which is really cool. I have never done it, but it looks really, really interesting. And then we also have Tuffy Basic Needs. So Tuffy Basic Needs is a program that just started a couple of years ago. And what it does is that if you're someone that needs a little bit more support for clothing or food, it's very anonymous, it's very confidential, it's very private. You can just go in and, you know, see the services that you need. And it's just to provide a little bit more support for our students. We have our career center and internship center as well. So students are not decided what to do, or they're trying to figure out an internship, or they're trying to figure out their major course after graduation, like how to go to grad school. The Career Center is a really good resource. We also have over 350 clubs and organizations. So like I mentioned earlier, you're not gonna get bored on Cal State Fullerton. There's so much to do, from fraternity sorority lives to clubs are departing from your major, clubs that are departing for your major, or just like things that interest you. So like, for example, there's like a Harry Potter club. So if you all like to read Harry Potter, right, please make sure you get in contact with them, because there's so much to do on campus. We also have our athletic department. Like I mentioned earlier, we are a Division I school for many different sports like soccer, baseball, track and field. We do have a tennis sports. So please make sure that you're an athlete and you're interested in becoming an athlete at Cal State Fullerton to reach out the athletic department. And then we have our Titan Student Union, where you can get, it's you know, like a union, a space for all our students to do studies, to have a meetings, also do presentations, right? Like, so there's like spaces for you to do presentations. And then we also have our housing and residential engagement. Our housing and residential engagement, we have about 2,000 beds. It's first come, first serve basis. It's a beautiful, brand new facility. And there's so much things to do on campus as well. So if you're a student that's thinking of out of state, coming into Cal State Fullerton, we do have housing and residential engagement department for you. But if you also locally here, you're like, you know what, I want to have that college experience and be living in housing, you can also apply. So this first come, first serve basis. And we're also going to be having housing and residential webinars links in our website as well. And then beyond the classroom, I know right now this is a little weird topic because we have the pandemic happening. So a lot of our study abroad programs are on hold. But before the pandemic, and maybe after the pandemic, we are going to be having 40 different study abroad programs. They're really cool programs because you get to have a different experience outside your comfort zone. So you actually get to go to Paris, Brazil, different countries, and have that experience of being away from Southern California. But if you don't want to leave the United States, they will also have a Washington, D.C. internship where students can have an experience of how to work in Washington, D.C. When I was a student at Cal State Fullerton, one of the students I met at Cal State Fullerton actually is now working with a congresswoman because she did the Washington, D.C. internship. So there's so many different opportunities. And then we also have the Tucker Wildlife Sanctuary, where students can find different information and do research on wildlife. And we also have the Visual and Performing Arts Center, which is in Santana and Garden Grove as well. So we want you to be successful. We want you to be accepted first, right? Be successful and graduate. So we have different graduation initiatives. We have Tuffy graduation scholars, Tuffy basis needs, and Tuffy success teams. We're also doing a campaign called Choosing 15, which in order for you to graduate, you need about 120 to 150 units. So if you break that down in 4 years, you need about 15 units per semester. We want you to be successful. We want you to have a great college experience, right? I am an alum from Cal State Fullerton. I love Cal State Fullerton. I well, it was just an amazing experience, but it was because I was involved. It was because I had the resource and the support, right? So when you come to Cal State Fullerton, we also want you to have the resources support, and we want you to graduate, right? We want you to continue being a successful alum, so that maybe you can send us your picture and we'll put you on our presentation. But we are doing very different graduation initiatives for you to be a successful student and graduate from Cal State Fullerton. And then we're going to talk about costs and financial aid. So the cost of attendance for if you were living at home, it's about $17,000. And that's breaking it down within tuition, books, supplies, miscellaneous, room and board, transportation. I hope that if you're living at home, your room and board will be cheaper than $5,000. You know, hopefully you don't have to pay that amount, but this is just breaking it down to give you an overview overall. So if you're living on campus, it's about $27,000. And if you're living off campus, it's $27,000. So this is just an overview overall. I'm gonna talk about financial aid in a little bit. But just to give you an idea of how much it costs to be attending Cal State Fullerton. So out of the whole sections that I talked about earlier, your tuition itself for fall 2020, this is the numbers for fall 2020. If you are taking 1 unit to 6 units, it's going to be $2,272.12. If you're taking 7 units or more, right, 7 to 15, 7 to 18, it's going to be $3,478.12. So think about as a bracket, right? I know in the community college, if you take 1 unit, it's one price. If you take 2 units, it's a different price. For us, if you take 1 to 6, it's one cost. If you take 7 to more, it's another cost. So this is your tuition and fees according to fall 2020. Okay, so comparing to a private school and a UC, we're very, very affordable, right? Because a UC is about $15,000 or so a year. Sorry, a year, and then for private schools is about $40,000 a year. For us, it's about $6,000 a year. Because if you multiply by 2, that's about $6,000 a year. And then for financial resources, we do offer scholarships, grants, loans, and federal work study. So scholarships is free money. Grants is free money that either the state or the federal government provides to you. Loans is money that you do have to pay back. And then federal work study is for students that qualify for the FAFSA. And the way that it works is that the federal government will give you money so you can work and then pay you in that sense. And the way that you apply for the grants, loans, and federal work study, if you are a U.S. citizen or a citizenship, a U.S. resident or a U.S. citizen of the United States, you'll be applying for the FAFSA, and that opens October 1st to March 2nd. The FAFSA, it's a free application, so please make sure to not pay for the application. There's a lot of people that have told us that they had been getting requests for people to help them fill out the application. The application itself is free, so if you are a U.S. citizen and a U.S. resident of the United States, you'll be applying for the FAFSA. If you are a dreamer, a DACA student, or an undocumented student, you'll be applying for the California DREAM Act, and that's if you qualify for AB 540. So the California DREAM Act opens October 1st to March 2nd. March 2nd is a priority deadline. You can always apply after March 2nd, but make sure you do before March 2nd so you can get as much money as possible. And then other resources that we have financialaid.org, FastWeb, CollegeNet, and College Board Scholarship Search. And then unique scholarships for Cal State Fullerton. So when you do a Google search, we Google all the time, right? So you can do CSUF scholarships, and all these scholarships are gonna come up depending on your major, depending on your program, depending on your college. But we do have a couple of unique scholarships that you can apply to. So if you do CSUF Center for Scholars, you're gonna be able to see the unique scholarships that we have. And some of the scholarships that we have that are unique for students that are coming in as freshmen or coming in as transfer students, all these scholarships in the Center for Scholarships you have to apply before you get admitted to the university. So please make sure you look for those right now, right? So the scholarships that I'm talking about is the Abrego Future Scholars, the Guardian Scholars, President Scholars, Veteran Scholars. So the Abrego Future Scholars, I believe, is for a first time first generation college students, and you do have to apply as a senior in high school or as a transfer student still in the community college. And then President's Scholars is for first time freshmen. And like I mentioned, you do have to apply before you get admitted to the university. So please make sure you follow those, look at those scholarships so you can have those resources before you get admitted to the university. And then like we covered earlier, we do have the FAFSA, right, October 1st to March 2nd, and the California Dream Act, which is the same deadline, October 1st to March 2nd. So we do have campus tours that are happening. We would love to have you in our campus right now. We will also be love to be in our campus, but because of the pandemic, unfortunately, we're working remote at home. So please follow our campus tour services. We have guided tours. We have so many different resources that you can do from the comfort of your home, right? And then we also have our transfer center virtual services. So please make sure you follow both links. If you are a transfer student, make sure you connect with us. And if you're looking to see any other campus resources, please make sure you follow the campus tours. And then like I mentioned earlier, we want you to become a Titan. We want you to continue to get information. We will be having live and recorded webinars, so please follow us on social media, our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Please register for any other resource, all the other webinars we'll be having. And then also, if you have any questions, please definitely reach out to us. Our email is csuf@fullerton.edu. You can always leave us, you can always call us, just leave a voicemail and we'll get back to you. And you can also go to our website, which is fullerton.edu/or. And then that's pretty much our presentation. We're gonna go to Kristen to see if there's any other questions that came out for our Q&A.
Thank you, Eloisa. We did have some more questions come in. Most of them have been answered. We have a couple open ones. But before we get into that, there was a couple things I wanted to reiterate that you had touched on. One of those is that we are test blind for fall 2021. So that means we will not be looking at SAT or ACT scores. However, I just kind of wanted to encourage students who are listening that if you're looking at multiple institutions, it's important that you follow up with the individual schools that you're applying to. So although the CSU system's test blind, there's other systems such as private schools that may actually be test optional. And so they may look to see if you have SAT or ACT scores. So although Cal State Fullerton, as well as the entire CSU system is test blind, we still encourage you to do your research with different campuses that you may be applying to see what their specific requirements are. So that's just something I wanted to touch on. Another thing that came
Thank
up.
you, Kristen. And that's,
yeah,
we're test planned for fall 2021.
Yeah, just for fall 2021. We don't have information beyond that at this time. The other thing I wanted to reiterate is that our FAFSA will open up on October the 1st. So starting October 1, students can start filling out the FAFSA application for grants. And I think that's, oh, the other thing, a lot of students are asking about our programs, what programs that we offer. So Cal State Fullerton has 110 degree programs. I believe 55 of those are undergraduate programs. If you're curious if we offer psychology, do we offer sociology, do we offer social work? The best resource for you to go is to the Cal State Fullerton homepage. So you can go to fullerton.edu and there's a tab for academic programs, and you'll be able to see, not only will you be able to see all of our programs, but you'll be able to see which college they fall under. Or if you want to check out our Cal State Fullerton catalog, you'll see an entire list of our programs there, and you can actually just do Control F on your keyboard and search the program that you're interested in, and that'll be an easy way to search for programs. So I just kind of wanted to give that as a tip as well. But now that we got that out of the way, go ahead and get back into the Q&A and see if we had any additional questions that have come in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for clarifying that, Kristen.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm so sorry. One more thing before. Also, just to reiterate, we had some additional questions come in about what the requirements are for freshman students. So this information was shared in the presentation, and we will have this presentation available for you. But Eloisa, if you want to go back to the slide. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And then also our PDFs checklist will be coming out soon. So make sure you continue to look at the website for that.
Yes.
Here we go. So for first-time freshmen, you need to be high school graduate equivalent, complete the 15 comprehensive A3G patterns of college preparatory courses, earn a qualifying A3G GPA, and then as you see, it will be described below. So if you're a California resident or graduate from California high school with a 2.5 or greater, and then non-California residents earning a 3.0 or greater. All freshmen that are residing in our local area will get an approximately 3.5 GPA bump.
Perfect. Thank you, Eloisa.
Yeah. I know there's a question about business programs requiring a letter of recommendation. No, our business program does not require a letter of recommendation. And then once you do the application, you're going to be able to see supplemental materials that the programs are asking. So like EOP will ask you for a letter of recommendation. EOP will ask you for a letter of recommendation, but it will show right there in the application if you need to submit a letter of recommendation or not. So nursing might have one, but you have to really look into the program to see if they're requesting it or not.
Yes, thank you. And then I see another question. I'm not sure if this was answered earlier, but is the SAT required if we take community college for 2 years and then transfer to a Cal State? That's a really good question. So for Cal State Fullerton, we only take upper division transfers. And so in that case, we are not requiring our upper division transfer students to take the SAT or the ACT. You only need to meet the requirements that Eloisa covered earlier, which is the 60 transferable units, including your Golden 4, as well as your general education classes. So I will say that if it's a Cal State that takes lower division students, there's not many Cal States that do, but if you do find a Cal State that takes lower division students, then they may require that, but not with fall 2021, because we're actually going to be test blind. So we will not be looking for SAT or ACT, but that would have been something maybe in the past. So to answer your question, no, as an upper division transfer student, you do not need to take the SAT or ACT. And for fall 2021, we're test blind. So we're not going to be looking for SAT or ACT scores anyway, so.
Yeah, so to kind of like add to that answer, Kristen, because there's a question about if there's a new formula for the index scores without the SAT. No, there's not a new formula, which is not looking at the SAT because we're going to be test blind.
Correct.
You just have to have the requirements that we talked about earlier. And then for the federal, how you can apply for federal work study. Once you fill out the FAFSA, it will tell you if you qualify for federal work study. And then you can talk to financial aid, but in your financial aid award that you receive from the filling out the FAFSA, it should tell you if you qualify for the federal work study or not.
Yeah, and for Cal State Fullerton, I know we have our Titan Connection website, which provides a lot of different job opportunities that we have, and you're able to filter it by federal work study jobs so that you can, it'll help aid you in finding a job on campus that's federal work study.
So let me go over the CSUF first-time freshman requirements again. So you must have a high school graduate. You must be a high school graduate or equivalent. Complete the 15 units from the A3G preparatory courses. Earn a qualifying A3G GPA. So if you're a California resident or graduate from a California high school, you need to have a 2.5 or greater. If you're not a California resident, you need to earn a 3.0 or greater. If you're part of our local area, all freshmen applications that reside in our California Fullerton local area will be receiving a priority admissions preference through an approximately 0.3 GPA. So if you, for example, if you have a 3.2 and you're part of our local area, so if your A3G requirement, A3G GPA is at 3.2, and you're part of our local area, you'll be recorded. We will record you as a 3.5 GPA for our admissions purposes. And remember, our local area is students that are graduating, freshmen are graduating from the following high schools. So any school districts in Orange County, Chino, Corona, Norco, Walnut, Whittier, and Avarold. So if you graduate from that local area high schools, then you will receive the priority admissions preference through approximately 0.3 GPA bump. So that's kind of how we're seeing admissions as of right now. I know it might be a little confusing, so I just wanted to make sure we clarified and it's clear and everybody's on the same page. So
always good to reiterate and explain. It's a lot of information to take in. So I did see another question come in. It says, as a transfer student, is there a way to see if there's a program or pathway that helps students doing the ADT pathway into the CSU? So we do have the ADT program, and it is specifically to help students in the Cal State system. Basically, it is a pathway of units that you can take that covers all of your requirements that can help aid you into transferring into the Cal State system. So if you're curious about which ADT programs are offered at your community college that will transfer over to Cal State Fullerton or to any Cal State, you can actually go to a degree with a guarantee website, and you can put in your school, and then you can put in the school that you're attending and the school that you want to transfer to, and it'll actually list all of the ADT programs that your community college offers and that the school that you're transferring to will actually accept, because you want to make sure that the Cal State will accept your program. And then, of course, the benefit of doing the ADT is you get a 0.1 boost on your GPA. You get a guarantee of 60 units remaining to get your bachelor's degree as long as you stay in your program. And you also get a guarantee into the CSU system as long as you're meeting the minimum transfer requirements. So it's not a guarantee into a particular CSU, but it is a guarantee into the CSU system as a whole. So the ADT is a really great program.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Kristen, for helping with all the questions.
Of course.
And then we have another question that says, is it only for 3.2 GPA students are getting a 3.0 boost? No. So that was just an example. So if you have a 3.0, you're going to have the boost of a 3.3. If you have a 4.0, I'm just kidding. Now, if you have a 3.5, you'll have a 3.8. So it's not just for students that it's a 3.2. It was just an example. But remember, those are for students that are part of our local area. So, yeah, great question. Any other questions that we can answer here? Thank you again so much, Kristen, thank you so much, Kristen, for doing the Q&A and for making those clarifying points. And then also thank you to the whole team for answering all the Q&As that we'll be getting. Do we have a dance team? Yes, we do have a dance team. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, we do have a dance team. For some of our performing arts majors, you do have to do an audition for them. So make sure you get in contact with the program that you're interested in, and then also submit your application. And in the application, you'll be getting information about the dance team as well.
Mm-hmm. And then I see a question about, could you please go over the recommendation letter requirements again? So just to reiterate, letter of recommendation is only going to be required on certain programs. If a letter of recommendation is required, when you go through the Cal State Apply app, it'll give you specific instructions, and it will request that you submit a letter of recommendation. So for example, our nursing program will require a letter of recommendation. It'll be in that, I believe in the fourth quadrant, the supporting materials is where, the third or fourth quadrant is where it'll ask you for that. So you're only gonna see that, like I said, for nursing, or for instance, if you want to apply to the Educational Opportunity Program, which is a program specifically for students who are first in their family to go to college, low income students. And so if that's a program that you are interested in, you would select, yes, I'm interested in the EOP program. And then you will see that it's going to ask you for 2 letters of recommendation you'll just have to put in your recommender's email address so that they will then get an email saying, hey, your student or so-and-so has requested you provide a letter of recommendation for them. And so you'll just put in that information. So again, that's only for specific programming that the letter of recommendation is required.
Awesome. And we also did get a clarifying answer for the dance team. The dance team is also part of the athletics department. So, and then we have another question that came in. If you're living in Orange County, but not graduating from a local area district, does that priority still applies to you? So unfortunately, you do have to be graduating from the schools that we talked about. So that would not apply to you, unfortunately. So if you're graduating from any of the school districts, it will apply to you. But if you're not, you're just living in Orange County, it will not apply. Any other questions? All right. Well, if you have, would it apply to La Habra?
I think it'll be a good idea. Maybe I'll just read off the districts once again. So you get the local area advantage if you are graduating from these districts, these high school districts. So Orange County, Walnut, Whittier, Chino Valley, Corona, Norco, and Albert. So I believe La Habra is in Orange County, if I'm not mistaken. So as long as it's in those school districts that I listed off, then you would be in our local area school districts. If it's for community college, you would have to be attending one of our 9 community colleges that are in Orange County to get the local area advantage.
Yeah, I believe La Habra is from Fullerton Joint High School. So
okay, so awesome.
So they are part of Orange County.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. So thank you so much, Kristen, for clarifying that.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Well, if you have any other questions, please definitely feel free to contact us. You can send us an email at fullertonor@fullerton.edu. Wait, am I giving that email wrong?
CSUFOR, I believe.
Sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
CSUFOR@fullerton.edu. Sorry for that. Thank you for clarifying that, Kristen. You can send any questions our way and we'll be more than happy to answer them. Let's see, I think we got 2 more questions in the chat. Arnold, just thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Yeah, and if you have any questions, please definitely feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to answer any questions, support you in any way. Please make sure you continue to go to the presentations and register for the upcoming presentations we have. And as we mentioned earlier, we hope you stay safe. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And thank you so much, Kristen, for all your help and support. And thank you for the team as well. We hope you have a great Friday as well. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.